It's like Meghan Markle's finally about to answer her critics, but how? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Thank you for joining me today. Lovely to see you. Yes, you, and you. Lovely to see you. Thank you also for the kind comments about some of the recent videos, including, I guess you all enjoyed seeing that big red London bus, didn't you? Some of you said you didn't pretend to drive the bus on the top seat. Oh, I bet you all did secretly. At least I've said it out in the open. But of course, it's interesting also, thank you for your comments about the Will Smith debacle at the Oscars. Someone said to me, actually, Neil, who did win anything at the Oscars? And it's interesting, isn't it? Because we don't know. You just get sort of swept along by all the big sort of breaking story, which was Will Smith. For the Oscars, it must have done incredibly well. But of course, for the other wonderful award nominees and winners, it must have been annoying that they got overlooked. But at least they got a beautiful gold statuette. As ever though, back to your breaking story of the day. Now, as I've said, basically, Meghan Markle must be one of the most derided, written about, attacked women in the world, good and bad. Whether she wears a dress, people rip her to shreds, whether she says something about, the freedom of speech, or taking on various news agents, papers, that sort of stuff, Whichever way you look at it, they keep themselves in the news, possibly for all the wrong reasons. And as you can see, Harry and Meghan like to get litigious, and they make sure that basically their narrative is the one that they want you to undertake. So it kind of makes perfect sense that they've both sat down and decided there is a very clever way of answering their critics, and here's how. According to that good source, who is apparently working very closely on the Spotify project, what Harry and Meghan, who's going to be hosting it, are planning to do with archetypes. That's what I'm calling it. I'm not sure the correct pronunciation, but that's the deal that I'm coming up with. And I think certain people say it different ways in different countries, but to me, it reads archetypes. Archetypes is all about empowering people who've overcome, difficulties in their life. It all sounds incredibly good. What I do find strange about this is that there are many podcasts very similar to this. Yes, they don't have Harry and Meghan's profile, but more importantly, a lot of people with a lot more expertise are actually making these on a daily, weekly basis. But back as ever to how Meghan plans to sort of, shall we say, realign her most severe of critics. According to that good source, Meghan does plan to introduce topics, perhaps about motherhood, parenting, family relations, fallouts, that sort of stuff, which will be addressed head on. So while you will not be actually hearing her mention those particular problematic areas of her life, you will be able to decipher, should you wish, the bones of the conversation, and more importantly, exactly how she sees the situation unfolding, whether she's giving advice or discussing a topic related to something very similar. It's a very shrewd move in a way, because of course it does get her side of the story out while actually attacking anyone or addressing those thorny issues, particularly things like where she hasn't spoken to her father in over 4 years. Perhaps she may do a special on Father's or Father's Day or something like that. That's the idea. So this way, Meghan gets her voice out, the voice that she likes to be heard with, but without actually for once, allegedly, upsetting anybody. As ever, when I know more, you know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.